Today, our Landowner film series finds us just northwest of Tallahassee on one of the most unique and dynamic medium-sized properties in North Florida. Join us as we take an inside look and celebrate the land stewardship and landowners that have made a difference here. Welcome to Woodberry Farms. We all know of certain properties that are held in high esteem by the community. I first became acquainted with this property over 20 years ago. Back then, it was simply known as Dr. Hill's Farm. Today's landowners have done an incredible job of not only maintaining this property, but have painstakingly restored several of the historic buildings, as well as accomplished the elusive feat of creating an income stream that complements the land.
So this was Potter Woodberry's homestead, which is the road that you come in on is Potter Woodberry Road. And this was his actual homestead, but he had thousands of acres at the time. And he had started up a tobacco company back 100 years ago, and they grew shade tobacco on the farm. So all the barns up front were used when they would harvest and come in and dry the big leaves of tobacco. And so it was really neat to know that this was actually where he lived, because there was just so much surrounding land.
This area of the Red Hills has some of the most unique features and diversity of anywhere in the country. Just on Woodberry Farms alone, we have slope ravines, mountainous valleys with 130 feet of elevation change, a spring-fed lake and ponds, hay meadows lined with moss drake live oaks, mature park-like ancient hardwoods, southern yellow pine woods, classic pecans, improved pasture. The property here is further enhanced by an almost mile-long improved drive aiming at a classic country farmhouse overlooking both a lake on one side and valley on the other. There are historic tobacco barns, guest houses, solar barn, equipment barns, and about everything one will need to enjoy one of Florida's finest gentleman farms.
Honestly, the thing I love the most is when I'm giving a venue tour, if it's a friend that's never been up here, is their reaction when they come down that road and I take them around the property, and they're just in awe about how beautiful it is. It makes my heart very happy.
I'm always fascinated by the past uses of these lands we represent and how these impacts mold the property today. Here, we are just 2 miles from the heart of Havana, Florida, which for almost 60 years produced the lion's share of America's best shade tobacco. The profits were high and the land and community was uniquely modified. Hoyt Woodberry, the property's namesake and of the famed Have a Tampa company, farmed this very property. However, like many agricultural pursuits, times changed and the industry moved elsewhere. Meanwhile, hundreds of architecturally unique tobacco barns that represent this area line the countryside. Most fell into ruin. Here, the landowner has painstakingly restored and repurposed 2 of them into the most charming and sought-out outdoor wedding and event venues in North Florida.
Yes, so I wanted it, the reason we really liked it was that the venue portion is at the very front of the property and our house is at the back. So even when there's a wedding or an event going on, once it's started, we're back here and it's not right here in front of us, which I really like, because it allows us to step back and get away from it.
In fact, this property's ecological significance was deemed so important that Tall Timbers now holds a conservation easement on it that ensures its preservation. Additional homes and structures can be built here, but this property can never be developed, turned into a solar farm, or other terminal uses. Because of the wealth of soils, water, and topography, one can do a lot here and further mold this property into one zone. This short film doesn't allow the time, but I love to talk about all the ideas and things one could do here. How fortunate are we all to be able to live and work in an area that abounds with great places like this, and where a unique history and culture comes together to preserve it. We hope you enjoyed this quick inside look at one of North Florida's most iconic properties, and thank you for your support of those people and groups that continue to make a difference here.